think someone was playing him yesterday. I think it was Stanny playing it pretty consistently. But FaZe, they're sticking to something a bit more normal. I think it is important to note that this is one of the few maps where Baby J is off his jet. I think he used to play the jet even, but he's elected for the Raze here, which, again, it's interesting for me. This is a really strong map for Jet. This is a really strong map for Baby J on Baby Bay on the Jet, the other baby in the server. But he's electing for that Raze, even after the changes to her pricing. So we'll have to see what he can get done with her. Over on the side of DZ, it's very normal. Again, it's the Viper up for Anderson. It's that solo controller initiation, double duelist, and then the Sage to close things up. Excuse me. It's actually Kohler sticking with that. So it is just Screw on that duelist, and I'm a fan of the comp. I think this is kind of the more defaulted, utility-heavy showing that we see from a lot of teams these days. I actually liked what we saw from the KJ on Kohler in that first map. I think that, while Cypher's great, KJ has a lot more adaptability, especially in how good her ult is.
Yeah, and so this is actually a comp for FaZe that is new. It's kind of the new comp on the block. The last time we saw them playing ICEBOX, not here in stage 3, before anybody goes and corrects me, they were actually rocking the Omen. They weren't using the Viper, and since we've seen them last, they've kind of added that adaptation. And I think Zachary, this is really cool to me because Baby J coming into the squad is still playing that Sentinel role, but back when it was Marved, Zachary and Marv were kind of bouncing back and forth between playing the Sentinel and the controller. And now with Baby J on the Sentinel role, Zachary can just stick to the controllers and just play the controllers nearly perfectly or almost flawlessly, like we've seen in this series. As far as the Sova is still struggling a bit. Harmon gonna miss out on the shock dart there, but it's looking like a not so quick hit towards A. FaZe make sure they do their due diligence, and they've got a lot of utility to clear out this side. Unfortunately, with that wall being there, one gonna go over the top here. So Baby J trying to get aggressive with this team, not able to find anything just yet. It's some chip damage traded back and forth, some eye contact, now a spike to be planted, but 5 still alive on both sides of the board as Kohler forced to back away. Low HP finds a dink, 20 health now, so trading it out onto Baby Bay, who will fall the first to go down, but the post plant will ensue. Baby Bay gets stabbed in the back. Corey still able to find another kill and stays alive for a moment longer. It's a back and forth. It's chip damage for chip damage. It's a 3 for 3. Alive, and Asia sticking it to get it done. The kills don't matter. You've got ice in your veins.
TZ. So sneaky from them. What was crazy was that they didn't even have the Sage wall up at the end. Ainge was just sticking it. He was completely unprotected, and no one from FaZe even checks on him. They swing forward, but it's way too late. I don't know if they thought that it was just a baited out tap or something, but you really gotta check those. That should have been around for FaZe, but TZ, I'm sure they're not complaining because this is the first round out of the last 13 that they have played in this series that they've been able to take. So very good for their mentals to be able to start things off strong here. The buy up looking good. One Marshall out, everyone else sticking with the default Spectres. And so the side of FaZe, not too much invested into this. Couple upgraded pistols, but really not too much to talk about. Anderson actually not investing the wall here, which is interesting. Likely leaning that a bit more into a retake.
It is heavy aggression out towards B. Rock is still hanging out over towards the A site to try and stop a push coming from that way, as we do get to see the walls split up, and if that wall goes up, it kind of allows for free passage. Oh, no way. Zachary goes unnoticed, spotted there at the end, but stays alive. Baby J and Zachary, the first to fall as Corey hops on the board, gonna force up the Sheriff in this round and look to do some damage here to the economy. Zrakis bringing up the rear, no longer lurking, trying to link up with the only member remaining here for FaZe in Corey. And they head back over towards the A site. Screwface still holding it down towards B to make sure nothing sneaky's happening, but the remaining 3, DarkZero, could be all it takes here. The defense is all they need. First one comes through. Corey falls. Ruckus the next to follow. Shots to knock the Sage off the wire. Not enough to close out the kill. Anderson will secure the second for DZ.
I actually like that wall was saved till late for the side of Anderson. He doesn't overcommit anything because he knows that FaZe is likely to take it quick on that pistol. When the wall does come up, it does a good job at isolating those duels, right? The players that were pushed forward past it were easy pickings with the SMGs, and it kind of shut down that range trade potential that the Sheriff can have on a map like ICEBOX. So, you know, you don't always have to see that, but I like when people kind of pull out that flexibility, especially as a solo controller, because Viper's main drawback is her inflexibility, and by holding onto the wall, you give her just a tad bit more. And this round is just the bonus for DZ.
A nice bit of information, though. A tag onto 2. Dark goes unanswered for just a second too long. Poison Cloud and Snakebite looking to clear out the back right of sight. Make sure nobody's hiding behind the generator. Corey assumes a nice position up top in heaven. Is able to find another kill off the back end. So the comms a bit stagnant on the side of DarkZero. If not the comms reactions, as Raucus on flank watch, able to find one, but it's traded out almost immediately. Leaves it all up to Anderson, who closed out the last round, Mimi, but 1v4, a whole lot more to digest here. It's Baby Bay instead to sit that Viper down. 4 alive for FaZe to find the round on their first rifle, and that's the best you could hope for, right? You don't, just like on the bonus, you would like to get a flawless, or on the anti-eco, excuse me, you would like to get a flawless. On your first rifle round, you're looking for a flawless, or else your economy, like we see on Zachary, I'm going to buy back into this one. It's looking a little tough. So FaZe in a good spot to try and tie things up.
I really like this, the comp and the way that FaZe are playing early on here on the attacker side. So many teams lean very heavily into the utility play on this map. They'll bring out a Skye, they'll bring out a Sova, a Viper, oftentimes double control. Like, you can lean so heavily into kind of that MOBA style where you're creating space, but you can't account for Screw. Well, maybe you can. Corey, quick shot there from the headshot angle, shuts down the offer. I mean, Screwface, it feels like it's been a game of him getting shut down thus far this series.
Really struggling to find his footing. And that's a big personality on the team as well. So, you know, if Screwface is feeling down, it's hard for the rest of the team, I'd imagine, to keep the upward tempo in terms of energy. Zange does manage to find a trade kill some way, somehow. We'll toss out the barrier orb as well to stop a push from 410. So it funnels everybody on the side. Anderson this time, though, on the flank and will back away. So an afterthought. Now, FaZe is going to have to keep their eyes open for the flank as the wall goes up. Ainge is there on the other side, able to find one. Baby Bay trades it back, though. 2 remain in a 2v3 situation. The Empress is on, and Corey, for this entire series, Corey has been on. So a very scary Reyna still alive as that spike tap comes through. Nothing just yet. Snakebites tossed out. Gonna go wide. Will delay for now. So will that kill as the spike falls. It's all up to Corey in a 1v3 situation. 25 seconds on the clock, so plenty to work with. As that ult falls off, you lose the fire speed, you lose the instant heals, and basically the infinite utility that Reyna brings to the table. 14 seconds left as that spike goes down. All 3 looking to swing, looking to stop the plant, and they will do so. No extra credits as DC secure another.
Little bit isolated there because Baby J on the Sage, he takes an initial fight. Corey doesn't really have an opportunity to refrag that, so comes down to the 1 versus 3. Clutch and DZ, again, playing things nice and passive, nice and safe. And at the beginning of the round, the point I was trying to bring up about FaZe's attacking side is that they're still very kind of frag heavy. Like, they're not afraid to take these duels, unlike a lot of ICEBOX teams that love just playing the percentage, love getting that entry, getting the spike down, and playing the cringe post plant. So I like that they're not committing too deeply into that, and DZ, well, similarly, they're very happy to take these frags, and, well, it's when they have advantage that they can do that so perfectly, not letting things slip away in the 2vx's, the 3vx's, and now it's another A site take, and a relatively passive hold from DZ, trying to make a play forward. He'll double down, 2 frags for the Reyna, make it 3. Corey on a tear, and may have just, well, turned the round completely onto its head. A Viper's pit up. Does DZ even go for this?
1 enemy remaining.
Yeah, I guess if you're now the last one standing, Kohler getting caught out, trying to creep on over. It's all up to Screwface with 5 alive in a Viper's pit. And, you know, with 5 alive, that means Corey, who's found 3 on the round and is very scary. This entire series, I mean, Corey, I think dropped 30 plus on the first map. Just an absolute menace, especially on this Reyna, and continues to be a problem. And now this time we don't get to see the 4-1 scoreline where FaZe string together 12 in a row to close it out. It will be a bit closer in the early game, 3-2 as that spike blows. The ultimate's used and a resurrection still available as FaZe will find their 2nd round here on ICEBOX.
Oh, I thought Screwface had an op. He was still just sticking with that rifle because he lost it a couple rounds prior, but I was completely unprepared for Corey to do this. Like, Corey, sometimes he can just be an X factor, and it was the point I was just bringing up before, where FaZe doesn't need to rely on utility. They're fine to get aggressive and take these duels, and Corey on the Reyna, he feels like a man let loose. He plays it on a lot of the maps for this squad, but I think it's when he is at his strongest, when he's on this Reyna, so very good stuff there. Viper's Pit available for DZ, maybe something early here, and it's the aggression punished by Baby Bay.
They just wanted the ult orb. Baby Bay not going to allow it. Harmon tagged up, forced to back away. Lear slow things down for a second, and Baby Bay will find his second on the round as Kohler only good for one. The Marshall will fall, and Baby Bay trying to net the ace with only one player to worry about, I would imagine. This FaZe squad gonna hand it over to Ruckus. Actually steals it away. Either way, it was an eco round for DZ, but it is now a tie game, and momentum seeming to swing back in favor of FaZe, Mimi.
Aw, come on. Could have given it to him. He was so close to getting it done, in position to close out the ace, but it is stolen away. DZ, they have ults to work with in this one. I'm glad they didn't commit them, though, in that last one. It was just the eco, so nothing huge to write home about, but now they have this pit, and it looks like it's going to be early out towards B, but FaZe, with only Anderson to go up against, despite this pit, they could overwhelm. We know how much Baby Bay likes going in quickly, creating space, even when there's something big like an ult to go up against, but it's actually a much more passive look out of FaZe. No early fight, and Anderson, despite my assumption, is actually saving this pit for the moment.
Oh, that moment now disappears as Baby Bay goes up top with the showstopper and takes heaps. I'm talking heaps of damage falling down there, so maybe an overstep in using that ultimate. Will be healed up, so fortunately because of the fall damage, no shield taken off there, so full armor, full health now up the back end of a healing orb. Kohler the first to peek, and Corey just can't be stopped. Baby Bay right behind him. The duelist going right back to work for FaZe, and this is looking quite possibly, if DZ can't slow things down just like that, Ainge and Anderson hop on the board, and they make me eat my words, Mimi, before I can even say it. A 4v2 situation, but Ruckus still a problem here. A resurrection still available as well, should Baby J choose to use it. And there it is. Things getting a bit more doable. Baby J trades out a kill with Anderson. 3v2. Easy, have a res to work with, but not really in a position to use it. 30 seconds on the clock. Maybe they got to pull the trigger.
I really do still have that resurrection to work with in DZ's camp for FaZe. They need to isolate these duels right here, right now. And Ainge still working towards front side. Can play the contact back yellow. And through the sneaky angle, Ruckus catches off his opponent. Now the spike is coming down. It's a 2v2. And Ainge just spotted the cape.
One enemy remaining.
Spike planted inside of Tube, leaves things all up to Ruckus, but there's nobody better than Ruckus right here, right now to stay alive in a 1v2 situation. Just needs to buy time. As a recon bolt gonna do that, it pushes Ainge away. The shot's gonna go wide. Ainge dances around the yellow box, and DZ playing this so passively, not wanting to give up too much, but Screwface steps out a bit too wide and takes a round to the face. Ainge needs to go right here, is able to do so. Now needs to find a defuse, and the operator, plenty of time to do that. DarkZero, it takes everything in their arsenal to find another round and grab themselves another lead.
Yeah, it does. And well, the biggest thing in their arsenal, it seemed to be Ainge there. He had that initial position towards the second story on B, swung in towards the kitchen area, and was able to gun down two. The lineup was there, and then he has some utility to support on the fallback. That push from Ainge kind of forces FaZe to try and fight for that refrag, but there was always someone under Tube, and it was a good look from FaZe. I thought that when it came down to the clutch, they did a good job at trying to fight those duels alone, but you can't really deal with Ainge. Now it's attack pause up for the side of FaZe. Last time, it's actually from DZ. Off the round win, they're going to pull out the tech. I think it's because that clutch got so close. They need to talk about that a little bit. They need to talk about some issues of consistency here, because a lot was given away to FaZe in that one, especially that control towards kitchen. Could have lost them the round.
And, I mean, somebody over at DZ must be watching the stream, because this is what we talked about, right? Use these timeouts. Use them nice and early. You've got two of them. Let's go ahead and sauce them out whenever you can. And you can do it off the back end of a win to try. So now you take a look and you say, okay, we picked up some guns. we take a look at our economy, see where we're at, and see what we can buy around it. We'd have a rifle, an operator. Let's see what else we can do. We also have a lockdown on a Hunter's Fury to play with. How do we want to play with that, right? You see the economy is absolutely in question for this squad right here, right now, as Anderson, the only one left to buy. Gonna force up light shields, utility to follow, and a phantom. Now with the 2 ultimates remaining, Hunter's Furies, a lockdown could get shut down, but that could be an easy read for Harmon to try and find a trade kill onto Raucus. As that Owl drone goes for some early information. It's taken down by Screwface. FaZe look to hit A quick again, but this time it's not Corey leading the charge.
Corey working this lurk. Kohler has his turret up, but I think he could be... No, he's still in range here, so turret should be available to shut this down. Screw, pretty passive with the op, not going for the content play this time. It might just work out with the tailwind up. He's still trying to hold off this site.
The wall goes up, one side goes down as a spike still hanging on. Baby J forced to back away there. Hunter's Fury going to be used. Screwface finds first kill. Corey on the lurk is only able to grab one. It's Kohler to battle back for another. As that lockdown goes through, it forces FaZe to rotate towards the B site, and they're running right into the welcome arms of Anderson.
No utility down for him just quite yet, and Baby Bay working this lurk up towards mid, but Screw holding for it. No tailwind, but off this shot he could find it. Steps made, Baby Bay aware, and it's Anderson to anchor the site. Now Spike on the floor, and Baby Bay falls. It's Zachary in the clutch.
30 seconds left.
We talked about Zachary earlier. Unfortunately, it was alongside Raucus that they were able to clutch out rounds, and it was more than 35 health. It's all that separates him from death here, in DZ from a 5th round. Finds Screwface, the operator down. Running out of time, though. Needs to get the spike planted. Harmon queues up the recon. Bull, not going to get the ping. Another fake, looking to play the kills, and Kohler to come out on top. A 2K for the Killjoy. To net another round. Now growing the lead to 2 from DarkZero, and maybe that's what happens. That's what happens when you take a pause after a round win. You know, sometimes you get stuff done.
Yeah, I thought that round was so important for them. It was kind of one of the pivot points of this early game, because they lose out on that. The economy completely shot, the ops out of their hands, and things start to fall apart. But, I mean, DZ, especially Kohler, we've got to give him props in that round, because his alarm bot setup immediately shut down the lurk from Corey, made sure it was only a 1-for-1 trade. As well, his turret's always been securing up towards tube. So Kohler has a very crucial job in this, and with that lockdown forcing the rotation into Anderson as well, he had kind of unparalleled impact in that opportunity. Now Screw still with the op in hand, wasn't able to get it done last round. Let's see if he can get it in this time. Ainge instead, 1-for-1.
1-for-1. It's Corey with the squad this time around. The judge starting to come online here for Zachary. The op shot not gonna land, and it's all up to Anderson. So FaZe go right back to what was working previously. The A side hits. Anderson. There's 4 players to worry about. One still way off out towards the spawn, making sure that this Viper isn't looking to play the lurk. With the clock ticking, maybe Anderson waiting for this wall to go down, but it's going to take some time. Finally, we start to see the cracks come on through. Anderson just needs to play for exits, needs to try and keep FaZe on the site here.
And FaZe is already rotating away. They're trying to keep as many guns as possible in this one, and Anderson is able to cut down a single weapon, so a bit of damage done, but he should die here in the end. It's Corey to finish off the cleanup job there, and it's FaZe to get us a bit closer to tied odds. DarkZero, these rounds trading back and forth, have done a number on their economy, and it's another situation where they consider, are we going to force into this? Are we going to commit into this buy, or are we going to kind of concede down onto the save? I wouldn't hate to see them save this one a little bit and try and see if Screwface can get something done with the Blade Storms. And with him just investing in that full armor, I'd imagine that that is the plan. Anderson pulling out a hero rifle as well, as it's a pretty heavy lean in towards A. 3 players here to get something done. So Screwface, what can he do? Because this round really squarely on his shoulders.
Yeah, and he doesn't get anything. I'm not too sure if he got hurt there, but he tries to play that one and done position inside the attacker side at 2. Not able to get it as Baby Bay pushes forward off the back end of a blast pack, and no way, Corey just did him like that. He hops over mid-air, finds a spray down onto one, closes out the kill onto the next, and all Anderson can do is hope and pray as Zachary swings the corner with the judge.
Did they switch games? Are these guys like still playing Overwatch? Because from midair, I guess Zach can just get it done for Corey. Corey on a tear early on in the server, making himself a monster on the run. And let's take a look at this one again, because I don't even get it. From midair, FaZe, they're just better without the ground under their feet. And that was an interesting investment, because they bought into one hero rifle that he'll still have money on his back. But Screwface, I think he was hurt, so unfortunately not able to get any kills with Bladestorm. Let's see if he can do a bit better with the opposites. A very aggressive pit up from Anderson.
Wow.
I thought it messed up for a second, but it is that normal pit. Expands all the way across the site, but it doesn't matter when B's the decision of FaZe.
Yeah, and I mean, just a beautiful read, right? They know that that Viper's pit online, A's been working. Why wouldn't DarkZero send that pit over towards the A side as Corey finds one onto Kohler, who's trying to lurk on the inside. The op shots to go wide here as well for Screwface. So DarkZero not only working into a player disadvantage, I should say. Make it 2. Zange trades it back. Ainge, just the light here at the end of the tunnel for DarkZero, trying to do everything he can to keep him in this one. And it looks like, based off the economy with 3 remaining, DarkZero probably want to save and look for a 7-5 half.
Yeah, that's really all that's kind of left in the tank for this squad, and it hurts, because it's another one of these situations where FaZe is pulling a streak of rounds together, but it's what they have to do. Screwface's operator, I don't think there's been many rounds where he's been able to get an opening kill, and that's not because he's like whipping every shot, it's because he's just not been given an opportunity. FaZe knows how DarkZero plays, and they're countering it out very perfectly here. That last round, a great example. They knew that it had been working, like you mentioned. Pit's probably going to come down there, so they just make it quick in towards B. Pit from themselves, and the post plant makes the retake impossible, and puts them on the track here to maybe even a 7-5 half for an attacker's side. That is, I mean, that's a really insane half to pull on ICEBOX. That's really impressive. Of course, DZ not going to be out of that one. It was 5-7 on their attacker side, which they came back from on Ascent, but still, it's not the look you want.
A 6-6 still on the table. The only ultimate available is the Resurrection on the side of FaZe, so it'd be nice to take ABJ off the board nice and early. Looked like Baby Bay actually wanted to grab that Altor, but is going to opt out of that one as Anderson playing the one-and-done spot, but it gets answered immediately. Corey just can't be stopped. He's in Cerebro right now. He knows everything that's happening on the side of DarkZero. A couple of trade kills. Gonna make things nice and even for a second. Baby J able to get Corey back online. Ain't there to trade it out, and now one standing. It's Kohler in a 1v1 situation. The spike is down at his feet, and okay, it looked pumped up there for a second. Maybe that was just the angle. Okay, so I'm not wrong here. It does look planted. It is not planted. Zachary needs to retrieve, and the position has been given up. It's only 47 health here, though, for the Killjoy.
So smart from Kohler here. Surt's spotted, so he'll push forward past it. Zachary, can he be ready for this?
Oh, there's your answer, Mimi. 7-5 at the half. Kohler falls a little flat in the clutch once more, but the saving grace, Mimi, the saving grace is we get another 7-5 half with DarkZero on attack for the second half. And that's what we saw on Ascent, and it was a DarkZero win. So if you're a DarkZero fan, you're not out of it just yet, but you have to hope they have a fantastic start to this attacking side. I mean, the replays, again, Angel just trying to be the light in the darkness, just couldn't do enough. 7-5, it's not bad. The pistol means a whole lot more now.
The pistol means a ton for this squad to try and pull things into their advantage. I mean, DZ's comp actually postures pretty well for the attack because they have that flank watch in way of Kohler. They have lots of utility for these post plants, so they're still very strong here, but FaZe, their aggression, their holds can always be fantastic. Baby J, ooh, spotted on the push forward. DZ, right now they have nothing to flush him out.
And I might have heard incorrectly, but I think it also bought out the tailwind there. Anderson finds the first Zachary there to trade it back. Low HP on the Viper means an easy cleanup kill there. As 3 players playing out towards the B site. DarkZero look to go elsewhere. Kohler trying to find a lurk, and this is the player to watch here on the pistol round. What can Kohler get done? Boombot goes out towards mid. Baby Bay to try and slow down the push. The footsteps are heard, but how many is the question? Paint shells still in hand. They slow things down. All 4 players remaining here from FaZe are rotating back over towards the A side, and DZ, they're moving, Mimi. They're moving back to B.
Kohler can go huge here. It's a matter of timing, and Zach's ready for it. Kohler's tricks are noted. Every play in the book, FaZe is ready for. Now they have kitchen control. Screw maybe in a position to shut it down, but plants in position. Zach spots out Screw. The cloudburst goes up, but both sides still alive. Rock is up above, going for this fight forward, and Zach trying to take it to DZ, but that gets punished. Screw one headshot onto the Raze, so he's down low, but Corey's still alive. Corey is still healthy, and that can be so dangerous.
And that wall is so perfect. They don't really have a way in here outside of basically coming from kitchen. So now it is knifed through. BBB low on HP. Screwface still playing out underneath. Corey finds the first through the wall. The Sheriff penetration, getting the damage that they need. And DZ get the pistol that they need. 6-7 the score line as they look to tie things up.
Oh, all right. That is one that's going to hurt just a tad for the side of FaZe, because they wanted to keep that train rolling. They had 4 rounds in a row. They wanted to get that momentum at their backs, but DZ, very strong in the pistol, and the wall you bring up, I mean, that was like the whole round there. They put a little pressure towards it, throw some rotations, and even though Kohler dies on the lurk, he had bought enough time already that plant comes down, the wall comes down, and then they have to really only hold a very small area of the map. It's very tough for FaZe to retake. Would have been easier with rifles, but pistols just suck at breaking those walls, and from midair, Baby J plucked out of the sky, and DZ on the road to a tied scoreline.
And that's a good start, because we talked about Screwface being a little lackluster on the operator. And if you're going to use the scoped weapon on the attacking side, you need to be hitting those shots. So that first one swings away of DZ, courtesy of Screwface. His Marshall as the snake bite going to stop a push out from yellow for a moment. It is 3 players holding it down from FaZe here. Corey delivered towards that A side as another Marshall shot. Gonna ring true. Not gonna find a target as that spike goes down. Post plant will now ensue as everybody backs away for DZ.
All right. Tucked in towards yellow. The post plant positioning very good here. Look at the utility as well. Pushing forward, shutting down FaZe before they can even get on the site. Wall goes back up, and DZ brings the fight out. I mean, this is perfect in the post plant. Again, it's not an over-reliance on Anderson's utility. It's commitment to these fights together, and that's a good look from DZ. They're not getting scared. They're not playing passive. The mental is still good, and with just the pistols, there's no chance left in this for FaZe. Corey hoping for a bit of damage, but doesn't look like it's going to be able to come.
Oh, Ainge taking the fight to him. A flawless round for DarkZero there as they tie things up 7-7. As we know, DarkZero, they like to hang on to these weapons. They like to keep it a bonus. So this is where FaZe can start to mount their comeback. We'll see what Baby Bay is able to invest in. A little bit lower in credits, so it looks like a couple of members going to be on those light shields, which means the Spectres get a bit more value. That Marshall gets a bit more value. This could easily be a bonus win here for DZ.
It really could be. Now, for the side of DZ, what are they going to get done? A spike plant here is really the goal. Get that economy looking fantastic into your 4th round. Get things shut down early. Don't allow FaZe to build an advantage. And oh, this is interesting. Anderson has made it up towards mid. He's joined by Screw. No one's ready for this. In Raucus, look, he's stuck in his drone. This should be a free kill if they check above.
They do find that frag. Corey, though, in an awkward spot. The one and done inside tube. We saw Screwface fall a little flat in this position. Maybe not the case here. The Nanoswarm gonna get shot. The heads up play by Kohler will allow Harmon to find the frag onto Corey, as well as the upgrade in the rifle. This round is playing out perfectly for DarkZero here. Not something that I was expecting as Baby Bay goes running on through the spawn, gets taken down, so no flank watch needed any longer as the last 2 spotted for FaZe up towards heaven. Baby J looking for some damage, but it's a ghost to come out on top. It's Screwface to right those wrongs in the first half. Now Zachary needs to stay alive and try and hang on to the Phantom.
This is such a tough round for FaZe to lose, and it's off of just no one covering mid. The composition for FaZe doesn't have A Killjoy doesn't have a Cypher, so there's nobody like Kohler to shut down that mid presence without someone actually committing to it. They rotate off of that area very early on. It leads to the death of Raucus, and Kohler's just, he's a very smart man, I guess, for throwing that molly there, for being ready. Someone up top nest. I don't know how he does it, but I think that won the round, because if Corey lives there and he can take down 1-2, then he puts the pressure on, allows his team to come through for the pinch. That changed everything in that round, so huge from Kohler, to say the least.
It literally scrambled my brain. That entire round, the way that it played out for DZ, and then for Kohler on top of it all to then peek that angle. And well, it's not a Marshall anymore, it's an operator. Zach looks to push up, I believe, with the poison cloud in hand, trying to make sure that B long was a scary place to push through. Well, it is a scary place, but it swings the way of DarkZero. Now FaZe on the defensive side of things. Need to be careful. It is just an eco round, so it should swing the way of DarkZero. Flawless fashion is what they're shooting for, but Corey might have other answers. No, it's Anderson to trade out that kill. Baby Bay is there, and the classic is good for one. With the blast pack around the corner, a dink. He's going to be healed up there as Baby J going to finish off what his teammates started. It's one player down for DarkZero. It's 4 for FaZe as Raucus, the last one standing with full utility and a headshot onto Kohler. Things start to get scary. A weapon retrieved in a 1v3.
Yeah, their Viper went down very early, so there's no wall to divide these angles, and the remaining man Raucus can be anywhere. Will they extend in towards spawn here, or hold the post plant towards yellow? It seems to be the latter. Raucus working the flank.
And well, detected there, Screwface with the flick. The operator starting to come alive here, Mimi. And I know I already said this, but we gave Screwface some slack. We said the operator wasn't great on defense. There's really no angles that Screwface was able to find, no opening kills. But it doesn't matter how you get there. It just matters that you get there. And guess what? Screwface, he's there.
Yeah, that he is. This is a FaZe clan that is very much struggling to find momentum, and there's some of these just weird little mistakes, like Zachary on that early peek with utility in hand. I think he thought his molly was deeper and that it wouldn't be disrespected, but there was a gap to come through, and well, Baby Bay finds a nade kill. Oh, it was the double damage off the molly. Screw disrespected it this time, and that got punished. Anderson does trade, but huge utility combo from FaZe to start things off.
Yeah, heads up play adaptation coming through from the FaZe defense, understanding that these guys are going to be a little disrespectful. Well, let's punish them. That is both players spotted. One tagged out as Baby Bay still on top, maybe expecting a fall, but he's not going to fall back. It's Zachary and Baby Bay to hold it down. B-Long is not free for DarkZero as they continue to fight for it. Baby Bay will fall, and Baby J is looking for a flank here. The resurrection comes through. The operator is back online. Baby J back in the spawn, able to find the first, looking for some more. Finds Kohler, leaves it all up to the resurrected Screwface, who has 1 HP, an operator in hand, and a player behind him. It's Zachary on the backstab, and it's FaZe to cut the deficit to 1.
Oh, that little cocktail of utility was so cool to get things rolling for FaZe, because they know that Screw would likely aggress there again, so the molly gets sent deeper, the paint shells combines, and then this off angle from Baby Bay was just so perfect right up top there, in that he was just able to apply so much pressure while being relatively safe. I think this is one of the hardest angles in the game to get someone off of, because first of all, you're not training your crosshair placement to be ready for up there. Like, where are you supposed to look? It's so hard to say. And secondly, it's almost always in combo with someone towards main. So it's just a great setup from FaZe. Screw has the money to reinvest onto the off. He might just shut down Corey. That he will. Tailwind is used in that endeavor, but it's an opening frag regardless. And with the ults on DZ's side, once they get this spike down, if they get this spike down, it can be very, very hard for FaZe to work their way back in.
It's a solid player to take off nice and early in the round. You don't have to worry about Corey throwing a wrench into things as that recall comes on through. Kohler going to be waiting a few seconds to get that turret back online, but it should be there for the post plant. The Owl Drone spots out one towards screens. I'm unsure if Raucus was spotted. Now he will be and take a bit of damage as he trades out a drone of his own. Not able to get high enough as the Viper's pick comes down. The wall goes up. The spike looking to get planted as well. Ainge is going to get that one down, working back towards the resurrection. Now Anderson inside the Viper's pit. Oh, so close here. Unbeknownst, obviously, Baby J might find a backstab pushing into the pit, but the clock is ticking, and all DZ need to do is run it down.
His position
What?
here, very crucial. Oh, there's a pit on top of pit, but one Viper falls. Anderson's pit is gone, but there's still another world to live within here. Showstopper forward, Screw shuts down, Resurrection up. What is going on? It's so confusing. In the hell of utility, Screw finds another shot through the smoke with the operator. Spike still not being diffused. Kohler still in close. The flick so precise. Zachary trades, but just listen to the time. There's nothing left. It's over. Everything committed for FaZe, and just nothing working out.
DarkZero Space Jam FaZe. They take away, they're the Monstars here. They take away all their power, and the power that they stole, Mimi, was the strength that they had in the chaos. We go pit for pit. As Anderson dies, Zachary's is the only one standing, and Kohler is just thriving in it. The Hunter's Fury swinging right and left. The Nano swarms, the snake bites, everything. And Kohler is calm, cool, collected, finds a couple of frags, and just enough to run down the clock. DarkZero now on 10 as FaZe forced back to upgraded pistols here. This could be the 11th round for DZ. Oh my god, Screw FaZe.
What an entry. Wow, DZ, just everything looking good. Screw had a rough start to this series, and now he's picking up in a big way. His presence being felt. That last round, he got a 3K. I don't even know how he saw people because there was so much utility going on, but he still got it done. Tailwind will be back off of one frag here, and it's Screw. Of course he's going aggressive. Of course he's looking for more, and he'll find it. Tailwind to back away. FaZe Clan, only 2 members to work with in this retake. Gun recovered, though, for Rockets, so maybe something to do here as he finds Screw, finds a second. Rockets could do this.
Ruckus, the clutch master. We've seen it plenty of times here in this series. Now has some information as to where the Killjoy is playing. Unfortunately, both Harmon and Anderson still alive and still unknown. They will find the frag. They will find the round. FaZe will now be on rifles, and quite possibly the last time we see them on rifles, as DZ need 2 more to close things out. And we get to take a peek at that shot again. That is all. It's so mesmerizing to see players use the operator and find kills like that, where you're hitting that narrow shot and finding one of the most important frags in that round.
Wow, that's just insane. FaZe Clan, I'd imagine the mental is not feeling good whatsoever here. There's attack pause coming out, and that's for good reason, because they're just getting bowled over at this point in time. The aggression out of DZ, especially in towards B main in a couple of these rounds, has just been completely unparalleled. I feel like DZ in the second half, they just got a shot of confidence that's just coursing through them, and FaZe Clan, I don't know. I think that analogy you brought up where they're no longer finding their success in the chaos, that for me, that was like their boat of confidence. When they can chill out in the chaos, that's when they're successful. That's when they're feeling good. And now even that is turned on its head. Where can FaZe lean back on? Because it feels like there's not too much left. This could very well be their last buy. This could very well be their last buy of this entire open of VCT. FaZe is a team I think practically everyone expected into the main event, and they could get upset right here, right now by DZ. I'm sure the players are feeling the pressure. I'm sure the organization is feeling the pressure. And for DZ, they're just riding the rainbow, man. They're straight to the top. They're feeling fantastic, only 2 away from closing this.
And in terms of economy, right, it's going to take 4 in a row to possibly, or for FaZe to possibly go into overtime, 5 in a row to win. And for the next 2 or 3 rounds for DarkZero, they're going to be okay, right? You see Screwface economy. He's got the operator in hand with 6,400 credits, which means win or lose, another operator going into the next round. So it gets really scary for FaZe. You have to do a whole lot, not only in this round, but in the next and the following. So basically 3 rounds in a row to try and break this economy. And off the back end of that pause there, a very slow start. Both of these teams really understanding what the stakes are here in round 20.
If FaZe wins this, it opens the door back in. They lose this, and it's likely over. Everything on the line here, and what do they have to work with? They have that ultimate, and they actually have a lot of space. Corey pushed up in towards a main, and he'll be kind of the early alarm bell if anything is going down on this side of the map. For DZ, they still haven't shown face in any way. Very patient, very passive. They're allowing Screw to create a little bit of space in mid and try and get something done, but look at this. It's caused FaZe to second guess themselves. Corey has fallen back.
Yeah, well, how about when you hear the most fraggingest player in the lobby pop the Empress, you play slow. That's exactly what happened. I think that's why they were playing slow, and well, you get to see another look at why they were doing it as a duelist starts to come online for FaZe. It's Core to find one as that Empress falls off. Baby Bay to find another, looking for the spray down, but Harmon is there to trade it back. Close angle, not gonna get cleared out. The spray down, the collateral, the 3K for Corey as Ainge, the last one standing with not enough time on the clock. This is where FaZe needed to battle back to get some momentum back in this game, and they do just that.
I needed a hero, and they called Corey, Mr. Multi-Kill, back online. Even recovers an operator for his comrades. And for the side of DarkZero, I like the call there, right? You wait out the Empress, you chill out for a moment, but they really had no pressure applied. They allowed Corey full space in towards A main. They had someone aggressively holding B main. So they knew that DZ still just had to be chilling out in spawn. They had no reason to rotate. They had no reason to over-aggress. And with those forward positions, it means there's so much for DarkZero to clear out once they do commit. But like you mentioned, so much money for DZ. There's still a buy. There's still an off. There's another chance to reset FaZe.
And that's the op down. A great start as Baby Bay finds the first frag onto Screwface. And the wind starting to get into the sails of FaZe once more. But a resurrection and the run and gun from Kohler. He just throws caution to the wind as Ultimate's traded out. The lockdown gonna fall to the Hunter's Fury, but a player advantage for DarkZero. The blades are online for Screwface. Should he need them in a tight spot? With no shields, that's plenty of health at the operator. Baby Bay gonna make sure Screwface stays dead this time around, finding the second frag onto the Jet. Still a player advantage. Oh my God! Double kill from Baby Bay, the showstopper, looking to do just that in round 21. Harmon, the last one standing in a 1v3 situation, has plenty of time, but how much space, how much room, and how much wherewithal? He finds the first kill, needs to find the next. He's gonna swing out onto Raucus, not able to do it, and Baby Bay, you absolute madman, will push FaZe to double digits.
Wow, I don't know how he gets away with that. The recovered operator into the last round, able to come through in a huge way and pull his team into advantage. Now DarkZero, they're the ones under pressure. They had every advantage here. Now the eco's got to be shaky. The emotions got to maybe start to come into the picture, because that's just something that you really can't account for. Is FaZe really still in this? Does FaZe really still have a chance to close it out? Because it looks likely DZ forced onto this tactical pause.
Wow. Yeah, that is... I honestly feel like this tactical pause bodes well for both teams too, because after a round like that from Baby Bay, you have to imagine the nerves are high. A 4K on it. I think we saw in a video a long time ago, it was Asuna with like an ace clutch or something of the sort, and says, hey guys, can we take a tactical timeout? Because I'm a bit shaky after that one. Like, I need to catch my breath a little bit and slow down going into this next. So although it is a DarkZero timeout, I don't think that this swings either way for it, outside of how DarkZero, again, they want to spend their economy. We're at that round 3 that I spoke about where things start to get shaky. So we'll get to take a peek and see what they're able to muster up. It looks like maybe 4 rifles at the most. They do invest the operator again in Screwface, and they say, hey, let's just go right back to it.
Lots of faith in Screw. I like that. He has the Blade Storms as well. I'd imagine he'll save that for the next round. There is a bit of a technical pause to follow up the tactical, so definitely lots of time for these players to chill out. But I'm actually interested that they chilled out with that B main fight, because they've been playing this kind of default where they play very, very far back, not really applying any pressure, and then it's been late round A hits in both of those last two. And I'm not a fan of it, because it's really not forcing FaZe to do anything. FaZe feels comfortable when you give them that much space. I think the DZ need to go back to their old ways of fighting that mid control a little bit, fighting that control towards B main a little bit, because you can't let this squad control all the information. DZ's mid-rounding was strong when they were able to create that misinformation, to create that deceit, or to just go for the fast executes towards B. I think either way, something needs to change up, and well, there's been plenty of time to talk about it. They obviously have a coach in facility with them at their boot camp, so that's even better to have another man in the conversation. Well, they seem to agree with me. B site, maybe the look, Screwface waiting for the molly to fade. There's a Roomba coming forward. No one, though, kind of directly controlling this. Baby Bay's leaving.
3 players have been moved over towards the B site, and they are looking to play a bit more passively. Nice poison cloud, gonna funnel them all to that far side of longs. Baby Bay looks to swing with the operator. Screwface spots the elbow, takes the shot. The shot will land as Baby Bay falls. It's operator down. And we'll see if Zachary wants to try and retrieve that one, or if they continue to hold it down. 2-2 split here. It's actually Corey, the only one on A, as Raucus is backed away towards that spawn, not spotting anything out towards mid. Not a whole lot of ground assumed here. Baby J, though, takes the operator out. So op for op we go as Harmon trades it back to Bulldog, takes a bite out of the Sage, and DZ find themselves with the player lead once more.
And look how much position they have. They're leaving Kohler to try and lurk, and this position could go so huge late round. No matter which site they commit to, they'll have him here. Screen down, Zachary up aggro. This is really all on Zachary. He dies here, and the round's over for FaZe, but they line up. Only one, trade stay even, and remember where Kohler is.
And that's not a bad trade there. It is a player advantage still for DZ, but that flank is coming through. That player advantage is the one on the flank, as that spike needs to get planted. Ainge will get it down. The healing orb helps top off the Viper as well. He backs away towards yellow. Kohler with the backstab. Raucus goes down, and now Corey doesn't know what to think. Out towards Snowman, stuck in no man's land. As that turret will get all the information as Corey looks to push up through the smoke. Anderson will find the shots, and DarkZero will find map point.
It's the mid-rounding. It's so strong. They apply pressure mid, and then FaZe really doesn't know what to think. They posture Zachary towards that aggressive angle, the one and done, and well, it's just one. That's never going to be good enough in a situation like this. Kohler going huge in the late round off his lurk, and this is really the first time we're seeing these lurks start to go huge. He's been very controlled about them. Not overcommitting to these lurks, not overcommitting to these risky plays, and he does it exactly when the squad needs it, when they needed it most, because that was the round that either decided if we tie up and DZ's eco gets broken, or if DZ find match point. They're on the verge of upsetting FaZe, of sending FaZe out of the qualifier. It'll only take one more round, but FaZe, we know how resilient they can be. It's only two for them to pull this back.
Owl Drone spots out the position of Baby Bay. Boombot gonna be used. Baby Bay looks to push forward. And with a situation like this is the second time we're getting to see it, that Baby Bay gets spotted but doesn't leave, right? The smart play is, if you get spotted, you gotta go. They're gonna, swing that angle. But like you pointed out, Mimi, you don't really have the crosshair placement for that. You're not swinging that angle and just hitting that shot perfectly. So Baby Bay can still remain aggressive over towards B-Long with the high ground. Not spawn out anybody just yet. Maybe the drop down herd as that wall goes back up. The rest of the squad for DarkZero, though, pushing through tube all the way back towards the defender-sided spawn. It's a really nice call by FaZe. They're expecting this one to come on through. Baby Bay, the first to find somebody as that recon bolt goes down. The blade's still online. Baby Bay waits on the other side of the wall, and the timing is there. Anderson's able to find a kill. Traded right back, though. So a 2-for-1 as that spike goes down. FaZe need to hold on as Raucus swings right into the crossfire, and Harmon with the backstab. Once more, Raucus finds nothing. Now Zachary and Corey need to come up huge. In a 2v4 situation, they've got the weapons, but again, do they have the wherewithal? One spotted out, shots on target. Cloudburst to get Screwface away. Playing with the blade still. Zachary finds the first. This is looking good for now. The Nano Swarm slows things down for just a second. FaZe eventually going to have to pull the trigger on it. Hunter's Fury going to find the tag, but to go halfway with it. Corey able to find another kill, but now Corey, the last one standing. And again, it's the clock that works against FaZe. It's Harmon for a 3K, and it's DarkZero to send FaZe packing. We will be back to break down the series and so much more after a short break.